So I have this dilemma. Rather, it's an ongoing conviction. And sometimes it comes subtly, and other times it just kind of grips me at the core of my being. And maybe you're like me, and maybe you have the same conviction. And this conviction is, Micah, are you spending time with Jesus? Now, I know I'm not alone in this conviction, and I know I'm not alone in this dilemma, but sometimes my hectic and demanding life overlooks and undermines what you would call a devotional life. And again, I don't think I'm so unique in this conviction. I think you share it as well. And I don't think you're as good or better than me, but I think that we walk the same road and the same journey together. And so what I would like to do is kind of share maybe how do we walk this journey together, and more so, how do we kind of balance the demands and the hecticness and maybe the craziness and the chaos of life, and also our relationship with Jesus. Thankfully, the Bible has a lot to say about this. And so we dive into the narrative of Mary and Martha. And if you look into Luke 10, you see that Mary and Martha, and they have a guest of honor in their home, Jesus. And you see kind of in the living room, we have Mary sitting at the feet of Jesus. And then we have Martha kind of in the kitchen, kind of doing this laborious dinner or meal for the three of them. And kind of from the outside looking in, we don't really see a problem with this story. But actually, when we dive in, we see that, man, Martha, Martha, Martha. She is the antagonist of the story, with Mary being the protagonist. But I assert you that I relate more with Martha than I do with Mary. See, I'm a better servant than I am someone just staying in the presence of Jesus. But in fact, if you look at Luke 10, you see three words. The narrator says about Martha, and it says that Martha is distracted by serving. I just want to kind of take a quick survey. Have you ever walked into the church and they say, you know what, I really think that you're distracted by the church. I think you're distracted by this, and maybe you just need to go home, right? No, I've been a youth pastor, right? I'm trying to like herd my sheep, and like, hey, if you want to come, you want to volunteer, heck yeah, all right? I'm not going to like disturb anyone, I'm not going to rebuke anyone, no. But we see in the narrative that those three words, that Martha is distracted by serving. And so the story continues. Martha just barges into the living room, and she sees Jesus, and she sees Martha Mary kind of at the feet of Jesus. And Martha kind of looks at Jesus. She looks at Mary. She kind of surveys the room, and she sees that, man, what is Mary doing? She's not doing anything. Jesus, fix this problem. And we know that Jesus kind of says, Mary is doing what's right, and it won't be taken from her. What magnificent words. I think, like me, and probably like you, Martha did something that was kind of out of bounds of what Jesus kind of recommended. Jesus didn't rebuke her, but he corrected her in the moment. And what's interesting is we kind of encapsulate Christianity with servanthood, right? Jesus didn't come to serve, or didn't come to be served, but to serve and give his life as a ransom. We know that, Mark 10, we understand that. So as Christians, we're supposed to serve, yes, but servanthood is not the most important thing. Now don't stone me yet, don't stone me yet. What I understand is, from this narrative, what's the most important thing is taken from Jesus. For you have nothing to serve Jesus with unless you take from him. Serving is secondary from taking. So where we see that the characters of Mary and Martha, we see that we have to be both Mary and we have to be both Martha. We have to serve and we have to take. But we can't serve unless we take first. So we are married not in spite of Martha, but we're married to delight in Martha. That's good. And to kind of build upon your sermon, right? I believe that we can take from Jesus first, and so we're not anxious, we're not overwhelmed when we're serving Jesus second. And so I leave you kind of with two questions. If we consider that Jesus is always we're always able to see him, or we're always able to approach him, he's always communicating to us. We believe the first question, what is God communicating to me now? How can I hear him? How can I listen to him? How can I see him? How can I smell him? How can I taste him, right? Now, that may be a little weird language, but can I just tell you a story? My mom was in the grocery store, and the way that she kind of gives love is she just kind of gives and buys things for me, right? I'm her baby. She does a lot of things for me, right? And so one time I was here at Southeastern, and she just mails me this whole bag of deodorant. Right? And she says, Micah, I was at the store, I smelled something that I knew that you were wearing or that you have worn before, and I just bought the whole aisle worth of deodorant. I'm like, Mom, I know I'm single still, but come on, all right? Like, I know you want grandbabies, but shoot. So we can smell Jesus. We can smell Jesus in the room. And I texted her, I said, thanks for being Jesus for me, because I ran out of deodorant just last week. The second question is, how do I respond? How do I respond to what Jesus is doing in this moment? And so I just leave you with this sentence. First, take from Jesus infinitely so you can serve the world sufficiently. Thanks so much.